undressed, not unrested. You know, this is not just Jake Undressed, it's Jake Unrest. No more fucking twist. Jake with all the fucking twisting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's put some of our treats, away. Rock your cares away. Chop wood for the fire. Set the kindling just so. Strike a match, let the flames burn high. Keeping us from the cold. And living good company. Good company. Okay, oh, isn't this sweet? Talk about happy birthday to me. Fresh pack of Ziggies. Menthol Ziggies. Newport menthol Ziggies. Cod sticks. Not joking, it's not like I make these sacred so that I can enjoy them. I mean, the cigarette just like reveals God to me in multiple ways. Like I can explain the dimensionality of the universe with the cigarette and the manifestation of consciousness and form. It's all the fucking cigarette. Come on in there, Stevie. Okay, I'm not sure what's gonna happen here, but you know, I think I'm about to invite a bunch of people to witness me strip naked.
I know I'd like to be there too. Down the road across
We'll see how many takers we have.
full moon rising, casting shadows on the field. Still out on the road tonight, and I'm coming home to you.
This guy hasn't had much success in his life attracting those of the opposite sex to witness him in his nakedness. Not quite in the way I wish. Respectfully. With love and allowance. Without expecting me to provide something to them. Like it was hurtful. It's just plain hurtful. Okay, let me check to see. Make sure my sweet has a to send Mercy a link actually, just in case. Okay. So first we have to in fact go live and then set that up. So, okay. Alright. Go live. Boom. Boom. We're not gonna mess around. Thanks for dropping in to witness. Thanks for dropping in to witness. Witness what? That's a good question. But before we start there, we need to ask witness who? I'm just Jake. Just Jake. Whoever you think you see, whoever you think you once knew, whoever I might remind you of, whatever stories might be now rolling in your head, that's all yours. Because I'm just Jake. And I'm just Jake. And it's a Jakey world. It's a Jakey world. And we like that. We like the Jakiness. Oh man. We fucking like the Jakiness. No, not many other people like the Jakiness. But all of us here, we like the fucking Jakiness. And we like it so much, we want to Jakeify you all. We want to bring you in to Jake's world. Because obviously to this point, all the cats that have been here before have not done a very good job of explaining it. Or even, well, I think he did a pretty good job of explaining it, honestly. He did a damn good job of explaining it. And we're going to go through that. And so we're going to show you exactly how he explained it and how you seen it. Or some of you seen it one way, some seen it the other way. Everybody seen it their own way. Right? I seen the whole thing. From exactly where I was sitting. This is what I seen from here. What you seen from over there. And they seen it from there and there and there and there. And everyone seen it from a different place. But everyone said, I seen what happened. The one thing that happened, I seen it. We got a few people here that seen it from different angles too. We're gonna meet all of them. So let's start getting oriented to who we're looking at and the fuck is he doing? Let alone what is he saying? Don't try to understand any of this. Don't try to understand any of it. Understanding is something you do up here. You've been doing enough of that. We've all been doing enough of that. And we're just getting more and more lost. I guess the invitation, again, is to witness. I'm just Jake, and I'm just Jaking, and I'm just doing what Jake would do, whether he'd hit the YouTube live button or not. Jake would be here experiencing the unfolding, moment to moment. Just what's next? The man with no plan. No plan whatsoever. But man, visions. Visions. Going back years, and specifically over these last 5 or 6 years, it's just like the same vision, just consistent, bigger, deeper, more colors, more detail. It's just and quickly approaching, right? Like I'm not talking, this thing I've been seeing way out there. This thing that I saw way out there had an entry ramp that you could see, right? And it ends up way out there. Wherever way out there is, and whatever this, I have no idea what it is. I just have this feeling. And I see these things, but I go with a feeling. And, I mentioned that you could feel there's this on-ramp, things to look for, like boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, I took that turn, boom. Yeah, this is the way to that thing. And I saw that, and so it's like check. Yeah, these things are manifesting. Here we go. So just Jake, a man with no plan. A man that intentionally gave up the plan. Saw that the plan was just not working. And he heard something. He heard a voice. Literally heard a fucking voice. I want to talk about that. I'm just Jake, and this is Al. I already mentioned that this is Al, and this is Betty. And so you put it all together, it's Jake, Al, and Betty. Cosmic busker. All right, busking, the age-old tradition of busking. I've been, I don't know what else to call it. Jake speaks of the experience of what it is to be Jake, right? Jake is the guy to speak on Jake, right? I mean, the guy to speak on Jake's experience. And Jake slash John, I mean, Jake knows the whole thing, and Jake is the witness, right? Jake was there. Others were there too. I mean, like others parts of here. Franklin was there for the whole, these past 7 years. Franklin was there. Franklin was there many years before that. Like he's that talk about the witness, right? Man's best friend, the one that loved him the most, stood by the cross, right? His mother, his brother, his lover, and his dog. Who would you want standing by your cross? Shit. My mother was there. As I hung on the cross that they erected for me. Those who claim to have loved me the most, most concerned for me. Not so concerned that they would allow me to maintain my self-agency. Not that concerned. They were concerned for themselves. What would happen if we had to live this life without the baby? Busking, musician stands on a street corner in the middle of Harvard Square, opens his or her guitar case and leaves it open and offers their gift. What's an artist to do? No one's gonna fucking pay for it. No one's gonna fucking pay for it. And if you want to go, you go that racket, right? You got 6 people in the middle, right? Fucking artist gets shit. It's absolute shit. That's why we have this problem called the starving artist problem. I've seen something. You solve that problem, and you unlock the whole fucking thing. That's when the more beautiful world our hearts knows is possible. The more beautiful world the most sacred heart knows is imminent. Like it's here. It is fucking here. If you can't see it, that's you, right? But we are witnessing the unfolding of peace. You've just never seen it. What do you think it looks like? You gotta open your mind. What the fuck do you think it looks like? You don't even know what peace looks like, let alone what the unfolding of peace is. Because you're still protesting for peace. You cannot protest for peace. I'm telling you, Liz. That's why I told you you're wasting your time carrying that thing, protesting for peace. You're caught in Gandhi's trap. It's inside. He still saw conflict everywhere and he died a violent death, right? So did Jesus. Violent death. You cannot claim to be, it's not the way it works. As I experience it directly, in my direct experience of life, you're missing it. All of it. You're not just the purpose of it. You're missing life because you are afraid. Eating your kale soup and driving carefully. So you're protecting this because you think this is it. This is the big thing. It's so fucking precious. It's so precious to you that you're wasting it, protecting it. And then you want me to protect it. Protect mine, right? Don't scale that cliff. Don't follow your passion. Don't do something so outrageously bold beyond what I could do, that it would make me scared, right? I have to live within not only, I have to live within your box, right? This is what friends and family did to me. This is the story I'm here to tell is outrageous, outrageous. And we're telling the whole thing. It would, and to whom I don't, whoever drops in and listens, takes this all in. Hours and hours and hours of material in the catalog already. Just this is witnessing unfolding, and see what comes out. This is part of my process of disintegrating, dissolving, sifting through, reintegrating, etc. A beyond outrageous traumatic experience, sequence of complex traumatic experiences that I experienced, including physical assault, armed men, and like having done nothing wrong, zero, broken zero laws, done nothing objectively wrong, stood up for not just my rights, my freedom, but for all of us. Police officer asking me for my papers with zero just cause. We cannot have that on the heels of having celebrated Memorial Day and all of those who gave their lives to protect the freedom of the people in this country, and then within hours, this police officer wants me to hand mine over to him. And I hear all of you saying, you should have given it to him. You should have just given him your ID. I wish that some part of me would have allowed me to do that, but something just said, no fucking way. No, I wouldn't. You've taken enough from me. I have no room to even fucking breathe on this planet. You're on me like flies on shit. I don't know what it is, but like, back the fuck off. Wait till you listen to some of the shit. The harassment that I've been taking, the pattern of harassment. The town police administrator's dog catcher harassing me repeatedly about my fucking dogs, service dogs, not emotional support animals. And I know there's some of you out there maybe here that say service dogs, those aren't service dogs. Read the fucking Americans with Disabilities Act, please. It's very straightforward. I know you do not understand that Franklin, this big, beautiful, exuberant dog, could be a, service dog that meets all the requirements of that act, but he is, and what he does for me is fucking outrageously just unreal, so cool, and Nala too. But the simple fact that I say, hey, guess what, guys, I got this thing, this condition that you don't understand. Western medicine does not fucking understand it. I've lived with it my entire life, and spending months in the jungle and going deep into myself and my shamanic practices, I figured out how to energetically bond with my canines. Like, wow, not emotional support, but wow. And they help me to balance a hypersensitized, hyperactive central nervous system. And without them, I'm a fucking mess. Okay? So it works. And it's the intention of this act that people are suffering from things that we will call disabilities, different abilities, doesn't mean different abilities, and they need the support of things that Western medicine just does not understand. Like, the doctors have thrown up their hands, finally. I mean, all they're doing is treating symptoms anyways. They've completely got medicine wrong, do not understand what is going on with the process of dis-ease. It is a disruption prior to an emergence of something greater. It is a process that's supposed to be supported. Get curious, where is it taking this person, and not stopped and thwarted. We don't ever go back to how we were. It's always moving forward. So I take a fundamentally different approach to what you all call disease or illness or something. When I'm feeling sniffles, I don't go, oh no, the flu. I go, what's trying to move through? And I drop into what is that entity, this dis-ease that you call it. It's just disruption. It's dissonance. It's like, oh, uncomfortable. Shifting from one pattern to the next, changing songs, samba to rumba. That's how I experience it. It's simply how I experience life. It's not something I've figured out. where this is landing. Technical difficulties. Let's see what happens here. We'll just upload this one. Still working on some of the technical aspects here on YouTube Live. These opportunities to witness whatever this is, I call it quadcasting. It's called quadcasting. I didn't make it up. That's just what it's. This thing you're doing, quadcasting. What is quadcasting? 4 elements. It's the combination of light and sound, thought and communion. What you see here is somebody coming to you stripped naked, transparent. This is pure flow. I'm not holding anything back. I'm just revealing. This is who I am. I've had struggled in this life, trying to tell the world this is who I am. And they keep saying, no, that's arrogant. No, that's this. No, that's wrong. No, that doesn't make me comfortable. No, I'm saying, no, I'm just, at the time I was saying, I'm Johnning. This is it. This is who I am. And people are telling me that that's wrong, that I need to change that it makes them uncomfortable, that they're not getting from me what they need from me. Whether from a significant other, a sibling, a boss, a child, like you're supposed to have been here, Dad, you failed, and the whole, Sam and Jack, I'm not coming down on you, it's just, this is the pressure of life and having lived in that role, co-parenting with somebody, the person that I co-parented with, like fucking A, right? You all think I should be fucking crazy after, the experiences that I have had. I'm not angry, like this is, if you feel anything that's anger, like I'm not angry and I can express clarified anger. Wait till you see, I'm really fucking good at it. Wow. Anger, when you clarify it, man, clarity, bang. So if it whacks you in between the eyes, I'm not doing it, it's just how it works. Today we mark this entity's 60th revolution around the sun at 1:08 a.m. this morning, and we were up for it. Oh, it was great. Turned 6-0. And I have to tell you, I've been freaking out. This day is approached. Quite honestly, I think I've been freaking out my entire life as this day has approached. It wasn't about turning 60. It was about being alone. It was about being alone and afraid, terrified. Just purely alone, just me and life. Right? Like purely alone. That's what I feared. When I learned of Carrie's many affairs, it was 14 years ago, coming up on 14 years ago. It was my biggest fear, dying alone. That's why I stayed all those years, whether it was with Carrie or Nicole, Christ, even Sharon. Right? Less so with Sharon. I knew more was happening. But there was still hooks of codependence. That's what I was working on. Codependence, what you're all working on, codependence. You think you break your codependence with your partner, you become codependent with a maestro. You become codependent with the rules of dieta. What exactly, how exactly, because I'm really gonna break the codependence. How exactly, maestro, how do I do it exactly? So you just shift, you just transferred it from one to the other, Sharon. let's be clear, nothing here is intended to get to a woman named Sharon Strimling. It's not a message to Sharon Strimling. I'm actually legally prevented from doing that until after March 26th of this year, if you would imagine, because she filed, this was a year ago. A year ago on my birthday, I was in Costa Rica with Sharon. We just finished a yoga retreat at the Bodhi Tree Resort in Nosara, with her teacher that she was in an apprenticeship with. I would hope she's run screaming from that teacher by now. She's bypass. Fucking obvious. This was Sharon's gift to me for my birthday last year. We had just gotten back to, we had reunited in the physical space the previous August, September, when I visited her in Portugal, and then things kind of progressed. It was lovely. It was lovely. I was really, I thought we were going places, because like we had plans for the next November. She and I had made plans, because when we were together over the holidays, she brought me to this romantic place up in the mountains. It was the Woodstock Inn. Beautiful. She got us a night there, and it was beautiful. And the only disruption during that little trip was Sharon and I had a deal, because she was struggling with sexual intimacy, fear of sexual intimacy. So I had made a deal. I was like, cool, let's just take it off the table till you're comfortable. And in the meantime, though, it's off the table, right? Like, that's when we get into bed. It's off the table. We can snuggle and everything, but before any of this, we need to have a conversation outside the bedroom without those pressures. But Sharon has struggles with boundaries, and she starts feeling amorous, and we're independent, and it's not the time for the man to say, hey, we have a boundary. I mean, she's working with something, and my God, I love her, and she wants to make love to me. I was like, yeah, but there's this other thing, and so we have to rearrange, like, hey, that's hard. You can't be saying you're afraid, and you're saying it's not me, but it's feeling like it's me. But then you, like, so we need to talk about this, because it's a mind fuck for me. Fucks up both heads. I'm trying to keep this shit straight, right? I'm working on being in touch with my second chakra, and am I fucking probing the world with fucker to kill it, or if I got that shit, if I push the clutch in and get that shit in alignment, so that I can be present myself to you as safe a masculine presence as possible. That's like, I'm tuned in with that shit. And that's what I'm working on, because I know it's not my issue that you are afraid. That's irrational. We know fear is yours. But still, what could I do so that I am not only safe from others' harm, but so others get from me that he is safe, he's not going to hurt me. Like, this is a conscious thought, because I am a non-violent being. That's not a philosophy. If you look at my history of what I have ever actually done, you have nothing to fear in terms of physical violence from this person. But I will make you see yourself, and you will wish that I had just fucking stabbed you in the eye, right? Because it's gonna feel worse than that. It's just how it works. It's how I was taught around that Bennett family dinner table. Jeez. I already seen you all beating the shit out of each other as I'm looking through the little bars of that crib. I said, I'm not down with that. It was mayhem. What I was born into was absolute mayhem. I was the youngest of 5. I was brought into a home with 4 other children. They called them my brothers and sisters. Okay, mom and dad, they tell me this is where you came from. This is how this all works. And here we go. It's fucking all going, right? So the baby comes and just grab him, tie a rope to him, tag him in the back, just that, right? How do you think it is? Did mom and dad raise baby? Fuck no. No, the whole, Lord of the Flies. Lord of the fucking Flies. And then, shit's happening, like, so this little boy says something, mother says that's inappropriate language, and washes his, this wonderful experience of having his mouth washed out with soap and the soap dragged on his teeth. He's gagging and choking because he used language taught to him by the children that learn the language that somehow she, like, what the fuck? Where do you think I learned this shit, Gene? These are your kids that are teaching me this. And so you fucking punish me. Give me this horrific experience. And yeah, that'll teach him to use his voice, right? We don't need to use our voice in this world. No, because she's over fucking matched. Can you imagine? Can you imagine my mother had her first child at, what, 21 years old? By the time she's 32, she has 4, 6, 7, 10, 11, and then I come along. Yeah, yeah. Oh, aren't we happy babies here? No fucking way. No, I was there. I was there. So yeah, it's been a ride. It has been a fucking ride. But you know, again, a year ago, I'm in Costa Rica with Sharon, celebrating my birthday, her gift. And things have been beautiful, and we're heading off to, because we're leaving Costa Rica, we're going to the jungle to continue our shamanic training together with this transcendent maestro. And I'm heading there for what turns out, like, I end up getting the signal, like, this is my last, like, my training continues, but I'm getting to, like, this will be my last trip there for this and part of this program. Then it's home and work on self. So, like, this is a spiritual relationship, magical, mystical, and I'm seeing these things. We're working on clearing our shit out, and we're doing this in partnership. And we're together because we reflect each other's wounds. That's the way it works. It's simply the way it works. Your partner has had your exact experience. It's just like a mirror image. That's why you fit. That's why you attract each other, so you can work on that shit. Give you a nice mirror reflection of yourself. But you keep looking at it, you don't like it because you don't accept yourself, and you see that which you don't like reflected back at you and say, that's the fucking problem. That's all. That's what you did. It's what you do. It's what we do. Liz Bennett, this is the theory in practice. I was trying to point you to that. And you totally missed it. You got to retire, sister. You're hurting people. Most pointedly yourself, but you hurt me. Gaslighted me my entire life. My sister knew my whole story. Fucking gaslighted me my whole life. A trauma therapist. No wonder she's worried I'm gonna fucking kill myself. That's why she's worried, and that's why she's gonna feel guilty if I do, because she knows the whole story. She sees me struggling, but she's holding secrets, and she can't bear to. She's fucking, every day goes by, she's deeper and deeper. Liz, you didn't do anything wrong, but you are now. Like, that was childhood stuff, and shit happens. But this is it. You were defended, super, super defended. The medicine couldn't touch you. You're afraid of it. So, you're witnessing everything, and you gotta just check out what else is in the catalog to start falling into this experience, and not about me bitching about my story, but I'm trying to lay the groundwork of what I experienced and what happened, how traumatic it was, how complex that trauma was, how it fit in with everything else that had been happening and has happened in my life. And the pressure, the intense pressure, because it's very nearly, it was what I experienced has been revealed to me. It was called the annihilation. The annihilation. It was a thorough rejection by the woman that I love beyond all reason. So believe me. If you were gonna say I was crazy, just see that I was loving her that way. That was a sure sign. You know, that could have me put away forever, the way I loved her. And she rejected the very essence of me and said that is wrong. And not only is that wrong, and leveled all sorts of judgments against me, said I was arrogant and all these things, just because I'm expressing myself, and she thinks I'm taking up too much room. And really, she wants more room for her. which I get it. I get it. We had, childhoods where we were shoved down, and we were both trying to make space. Can we have some allowance for each other, right? So 12 months ago, and right through, Sharon's in Peru. I mean, it's this shit she went through, and So in June of last year, you'll see the circumstances that led to this. But there was here I am in court, handcuffed, having done nothing wrong, and Sharon has filed harassment charges against me, harassment charges. We're in the midst of a disruption in our intimate relationship, and there are passionate messages. We're not attacking each other, but my messages were passionate and they were mystical. I was in a spiritual fervor, and I was begging her for her support, begging her. That's what those were about, begging her for her support. Everyone was turning against me and running away from me. I thought that's, the special someone. I thought that's the hand, Barbie fan. I have a desperate hand to reach out, a hand to reach out to in a desperate hour. I thought that's what she was there for. I was fucking desperate, Sharon. That's what's desperation. I was never gonna hurt you. I've never hurt you. I wasn't even gonna approach your door uninvited, unwelcome. I never have. This being has never done that. I don't care that I went out to Martha's Vineyard that day and said I was coming to Martha's Vineyard because I was drawn there. The Wampanoags are there. My ancestors are there. On both sides, the indigenous, that's me. That all lives in me. My family came over on the Mayflower, right? This is not something that's just a story for me. I was there. I was on that boat. That's my lineage. I was there. I feel it. I feel the rocking. I see the vomiting. It smells horrible. This fear and that winter. I was there. We were all there. You just don't remember, but I remember. And so you can't call me crazy because I got this gift to remember. So you're witnessing, part of what you're witnessing is the processing of what happened to me. Because Sharon filed a police report that was laden with intentional distortions, misdirections, outright fabrications. She said in her police report, written in her hand, that I'd been stalking her for 18 months. Let's just stop at that. And then she said it aloud in court. She said 24 months. He's been stalking me. So I think on June 4th, 2025, she told a courtroom and wrote in writing, made a claim that this man had been stalking her for anywhere from 18 to 24 months. She was saying that to support a claim she had that I was fucking psychotic and dangerous. She believed that strongly, and for whatever reason, she was invested in that. If that were not proven to be the case, I don't know what she thought that meant, but that apparently was not tenable for her. Because she filed the charges and then pursued them, despite the fact the district attorney admitted she was not a good witness. And her story was not going to hold together. I feared what would happen if I went to court. I saw her melting on the stand. It would not hold up to any kind of rational interrogation, cross-questioning, cross-examination. It just wouldn't. She wrote in her report that I was using quote-unquote huge amounts of drugs. I'm in plant medicine practice with her. To call these substances, these compounds, drugs, is anathema to that community. That's what we are fighting against, that distorted perspective. But that's a dog whistle. If you say, boy, he's using a lot of plant medicine, that doesn't have the ring that you need to prove whatever it is you need to prove that I'm psychotic. Just because I'm different, I see it differently than you. So effectively, she's saying that's March, and then March, April, May, June, less than 3 months later. Now we were in the jungle together, and I was arranging her travel from the jungle back home so she could get to Mexico for her retreat. It's another thing. She's got an all women's retreat that she's going to do in Mexico in the midst of all of this. A retreat she's been trying to birth for years. It does not want to be born, Sharon. That was the one you take the day after pill. She kept saying that. Oh, this human design says I'm just supposed to sit back and let it come to me, and yet you push to make that retreat happen. And what happened, right? A woman almost died there, literally. That's what you said. I never heard the full story. Traumatic thing fucking happened. Her elderly mother was there. She had people from 12 to 80 something at her retreat. She was proud of this. And one of them like fell down some stairs, whacked her head, almost died, like upon arrival. Sharon's calling me. Can you pray for us? Can you invoke sanctuary for us? Yeah, we got you. She called the retreat the Heart of Reconnection. She had these beautiful t-shirts made. I helped her design it. Remember, I helped her design it. She's so appreciative. I got a t-shirt, right? The only guy that got a t-shirt. I've got a t-shirt for the retreat that she hosted in like, I think, April of last year. I helped her arrange then did all of her fucking flights to get her back to Peru so she could continue her training and her processing. And I thought that was very timely because she had this really intense experience in Mexico. She's going to come back to Peru, and I had friends that were there, and I said, like, Christina, please, Sharon needs this, and we lined you up with Freddie to get you certain medicines and stuff like that. I was encouraging you. You got this. I knew what you were up against because I was up against it. So, we're in this thing, but she's come back from Mexico. She had this experience. She's just down, there's this distance. She's weird. I'm like, I'm being the same guy, but now she's like, no, I don't want that. What's wrong? And it's like, I'm just Johnny. I'm in this too. I come up and down, and you fucking lose your shit. And I'm like, okay, hold, everything's good, right? But when I'm like in something and when it's uncomfortable, when, I'm making you uncomfortable, it's like, no, I have to stop that. Suddenly you're understanding this inside out understanding. Hers turns around and she thinks, she teaches her clients that what's going on out there is not the cause of their inner discomfort. This is what she calls the understanding that she's so grounded in for 25 years from Sid Banks and all that. She's just looking for Sid Banks. Sid's already, So anyway, right, she's writing these things using huge amounts. She hasn't even been in contact with me. She has no idea what substances I'm using. Maybe she heard something from my sister Kate, who was here while I was using modest amounts of cannabis, for which I have a medical license. I have PTSD. It's prescribed to me over a decade ago. It's particularly good for PTSD. Sharon, meanwhile, has a bottle of Klonopin, like the most addictive and challenging of medications one might use for like anxiety. And she judges herself in taking them, and she then judges me for using cannabis, a plant, and then tells the court that I'm using huge amounts of drugs. I never once used anything that was synthesized by man, never even saw it in my life. I used alcohol, introduced to alcohol and cannabis like before I got out of 6th grade. But there was nothing beyond that. Never even saw cocaine, take pills, never even saw it. And here she is telling the court I'm using huge amounts of drugs. This is our plant medicine community. How do you feel about that? And she pulled the same thing on my birthday with the lovemaking. Look, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But it's also, it fucks me up. You can't do that. You can't say, no, I'm afraid, and you're giving me this thing like, you were afraid of me. That came when you kept saying, it's not you. I felt it. You were blaming me, and right to the very end, you were so afraid of me. She told the court, and she wrote this, her fear was that I was going to kidnap her. Her family was there. And she wrote that too. Her brother John was there. He'd had a psychotic break when he was a teenager. It's well documented. And they don't know why, but he threatened to kill his mother as a teenager. It's a big thing in the family. I'm not dragging them in. Sharon put them in. It's all in the public report. So she sees something that reminds her of a very long time ago, and she had seen it in the guy standing right next to her, and his name is John, and I'm John. He didn't have the H, though. You missed the fucking H. Whole difference. The John with the H, you have to have the H. And so he's thinking, yeah, that's fucking dangerous, because he's dangerous, right? So don't fucking project your shit onto me. I am not dangerous, except that I'm going to make you feel your shit, and that's going to hurt worse. It's just who I am, apparently how it works. She's there with her family. She's afraid I'm going to come to her door. She claims I'm going to kidnap her. Look it up. There are not many more violent crimes than kidnapping. It's a small island in Martha's Vineyard, right off the shore. She is saying that I'm going to overpower her family, forcefully steal her away, put her in my very sensible Subaru Crosstrek with my dog in the car. And do what? Go where? Get off the island. Do what? And then what? Does the police ask, like, oh, tell me more about this guy's violent tendencies? Like, he must have weapons. I mean, it's a serious charge. Did you investigate that at all, detective? No, he'd seen a guy in the cemetery he thought was crazy. He was talking about Indians and pilgrims, he said. Right? And he's a police officer on Martha's Vineyard, and that doesn't click. Like this is the history of the place. This is who you're protecting and serving. So he sees a man in a spiritual fervor in a cemetery. He finds that unusual. Okay, I get it. It was unusual, so you could get curious and not suspicious. You all could get curious and not suspicious. That's in you, not in me. I see something I don't understand, I get curious. Some people see it and they get suspicious. That's not got anything to do with that out there. That's simply, are you curious or are you scared? And if you carry a bunch of weapons, that's a pretty good indication that you are scared. And look around, who has most of the weapons? The police do. They're scared as fuck and suspicious. That's why they get hired. So there I am showing up in court, having spent a night in a 1600 Eris gel on Martha's Vineyard. I could feel the oppression in there, believe me. It just sucks it out of you. It's like the Dementor's kiss. And then I'm brought before the court, like shackled. Chains, wrists with a chain to the waist, the chain down to the feet, leg shackled, done nothing wrong. And the back door to the Edgartown courtroom, it's on fucking Main Street. They walk you by all the nice little cafes. This is a community I have been in for 5 years. Sharon walks me up and down these streets introducing me to her friends, the shop owners. Sharon's been there for 30 years, right? Like, I've been part of this community with her. She's brought me in, and now I get tarred and feathered, right? Innocent until proven guilty. No, you do not you're not being treated as innocent if you're incarcerated and held in jail for any amount of time. That's not innocent. You just get thrown in with the general population. I did. I ended up having to spend a night in general population. A man was stabbed in the middle of the night 6 bunks away from me. Yeah, this is where I was put by the people who love me, who wanted to make sure I got proper care. Everything I could do for myself to provide the care that I needed was stripped from me, was taken away from me. Not even my telephone to see pictures of my dog, or to use the app that I developed for self-reflection, or to make hot tea, or to write things. It's all taken away. It's not helping. When I come into the courtroom and I thank God I see my sister there and my son Sam. Okay, I've got people here on my side, but no, and I don't know if Sam was in a tough position, but Kate was there to say he's crazy, and he needs to. So we think he needs to be. He's beyond what we can handle, and so someone needs to step in. I'm not yours to handle. I am now 60 fucking years old. I'm not the baby. I'm not your responsibility. If I go splat, you do not need to clean me up. If I need, I'm not here. You don't have to. Yeah, I'm not your fucking responsibility. And just because I do not have a ring on my finger, I don't have a fucking ring on my finger, any of them, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not putting the government in the middle of my intimate relationship. But Sharon did. Just because I don't have a ring on my finger, which I suppose to you means, okay, he's her responsibility now. Phew. That doesn't make me your responsibility. I don't care if mom and dad said fucking 60 years ago, watch the baby. Where's the baby? How come the baby's arm is dangling? How come the baby's crying? Where'd this bruise come from? Where's the baby? Who's got the baby? We've all been watching for the baby. Not your fucking baby. Deal with your own inner baby. So I thought they were there to support me. And when she said these outrageous things, she says in court, he's been stalking me for 24 months. You did not stand up and say, what the fuck? That's crazy. That's badass shit. That's bad shit crazy. Did you not hear that? Did you not say, whoa, wait a minute. Wait one fucking minute. That is an outright lie and distortion. Why is she doing that? You all assumed I did something. Thanks a lot. Even Alan figures he must have done something. He got close to allow me, but Mercy did not think I'd done anything. She came to me. She said, "My dear friend, how can I help? Thank you." If you're getting curious, watch. There's something posted called The Ultimate Gift. Mercy Me. Watch that. Then maybe you'll see me. Well, you see Jake. You might see a bit of John. You'll all know Jake. I don't know who's going to know John. There's one person on this planet that knows and allows John fully. Her name is Mercy Rose. And this beautiful friendship we have is what I've been looking for my entire life. Friendship, capital F. One in which we rise in love together. You don't understand it. You have no idea what it is, but I want you to experience it. So please watch that. Dive into some of these, and you'll learn a little bit about what I'm about, and you're going to learn a lot about what you are about and what is going on about you. Outrageous things happen to the human form when you put it under intense pressure. We know that because we know when you put coal under intense pressure, it turns into a diamond. And everything in life follows the same patterns. So when you put a human being under intense pressure, he turns into whatever the Homo sapiens equivalent in organic form of a diamond is. I'm not declaring I am anything except what you see and what you make of me. But I never picked up a guitar until September of last year. Music theory was a mystery to me. I couldn't understand this whole fretting and octaves. Just whatever. It's funny. My mind is brilliant, and I see how I could suss things out. But there were certain things I just couldn't figure out how to get the fucking VCR program. It was always flashing 12. It's just. And yeah, music theory. Just even though all my studies of engineering, I'm reading this theory and this thing, when it's half, there's fourths and fifths and harmonic. I just did not land. I tried playing the violin when I was in 6th grade. My mom would not let me give up anything. Right? Shit, I hated sailing lessons and life-saving lessons, all the things that she loved and wanted to do. She wanted to have a boat, and so John better have sailing lessons in case we get this big boat, in case her dream comes true. It wasn't about my dream, it was Mom's dream. But yeah, no, you can't quit, you gotta see it through. But 2 weeks into the violin, when I'd missed a lesson and little twinkle twinkle little star proved to get the better of me, and I just quit. Mom says, "Yeah, that's fine." Right? She'd already seen the drums and the trumpet and the bongos and who knows what. Yeah, music went out the window in 6th grade. Except that I could not stop listening to it, even though I couldn't move to it. I was dysregulated as fuck. Had no rhythm whatsoever. You should have seen me in kindergarten after having been re-traumatized, having my tonsils taken out. At a year old, I spent somewhere between a week and 2 weeks in the hospital, nearly died of pneumonia. They did not know if I was going to live. I was isolated in an oxygen tent. It was a horrific experience. And that isolation, anytime I felt that isolation ever in my life afterwards, others called it homesickness. It felt like I was dying because it was a flashback. And so just a few years later, 4 years later, I'm back in the hospital to have my tonsils taken out. And again, it's the isolation. I have a similar experience. I was completely dysregulated when I come out of the hospital. And I missed some functional testing or something. As kindergartners, I had to stay inside to do these tests while the students my friends were playing on the playground. And it's all this shit, can you hop on one foot, touch your nose? And the last thing they had us do was skip around the classroom. They had me do skip around the classroom, right? And then skipping, that's a very da-doom, da-doom. It's the heart, the skip. You should have seen this goofy bastard flailing around I could not get the fucking rhythm. I could not get the rhythm. I felt so embarrassed. Around the classroom, I knew it was not skipping. I come around. She's like, "Okay, that looks fine." Right? No one looked into what's going on with this child. No. Okay, good. We'll pass him along. What's going on at home? He's dysregulated as fuck. But he's a bright little boy. A little odd. A lot of energy. He's bored with your shit. He's bored. You don't put a small child behind a desk. No. You do that if you want them to conform. So my mom trained me. She broke my spirit intentionally. I know, that's her MO. That's what she wanted me to do with my dog. She said, "Don't you want to just break their spirit?" And I know because I was there. I was leashed. I was restrained, literally. My siblings don't know they're off at school. But I was there. So shit happened. Yeah, so dysregulated, no rhythm. But the music, I could feel it. I couldn't move to it, but it moved me. I was born in the mid-60s, 1966. Check out that astrological chart. March 15, 1966, 1:08 a.m. Look at that chart. If you know anything about astrology, if that does not make your sphincter pucker, then you know nothing about astrology. Yeah, you should look at that. I know it made Philip Lindsay say, "Oh, man, wow." Yeah, it's been a big wow. So yeah, no one stood up and said, "That does not sound like this man." You saw yourself in me and said, "That's entirely plausible. I would, that looks like a prelude to physical violence. It's not in the pattern. You fucked up. Big time. Big time." My sister Kate, who's there saying I need help from people, she's my healthcare proxy. I'd spoken to her explicitly within 2 weeks before that. I told her that I am DNR. Right? I've got no death wish, but your Western medicine does not help me. If my heart has stopped beating, wait, let's see what happens. Seriously, do not touch me. Do not fucking touch me. If I'm unconscious and you don't know, do not touch me. Enjoy the experience. Watch me transcend. That's what death is. It's a transcendent event. It's a big transition. They call it the glorification. You guys don't have to get down with this. This is, it's in the Constitution's freedom of religion. That's what you're watching. I'm a deeply spiritual being. I am in communion with God 24/7. Period. I say so. It's me and God in mercy. And whoever wants to join us here, doors and hearts are wide open, but you have to cross the threshold. I'm afraid that's going to be uncomfortable for some of you. It's just the way it works. It's uncomfortable. Discomfort is okay. You can make it through that, and there's something beautiful on the other side of it. The more beautiful story our hearts knows is possible. Just starting to try to give you a flavor for what is held within this container that's flown through me and has been created. It's not just this, it's this platform, JakeLive. There's plenty that's been being built literally for years in the background. An entire sacred network platform for us to host a community in that is strong enough to hold us as we are without the masks. So it's not Facebook where you put the mask on and you show up. This is when you take it off, take it all off and show up as you are, and to be greeted by your capital F friends who have full allowance for you as you are, and we celebrate you as you are. Spatial media. And that's spatial. So yeah, this what I call, because as it reveals itself to me, because it's so magical and it heals me, this ability to make something that sounds like music to these ears and feels like music to this being, with this beautiful being entity, we call it a guitar. It combines with me. This is not the instrument. This is the guitar. This is the instrument. This is all the instrument, and it's all the music. It's just one vast field of music, universe. And we just pull down from that. The music is always playing. You can feel it, you can hear it, and you're always dancing to it. Listen right now. Shh. I don't care if your heat's on in the background, that's part of the music. Beyond even that, do you hear it? It's okay if you don't, because I have a trick. Listen more closely now. If I take that music that is vibrating at a really high frequency beyond your capacity to hear it. I'm saying it's beyond because some of you say, no, I don't hear it. If I take that music from way up there and I drop it down octave by octave by octave by octave, it now comes down into this dimension. I have now manifested it to the material plane, 3D, X, Y, Z plus time, 4 dimensions, right? And I've distilled it, I've brought it into a form. It's still, you can't touch it, but can't you feel that? I mean, I can feel it in me easily, right? It's got weight to it. At that higher octave, I can hear it. I mean, this has been measured on me. This capacity to hear beyond what the dogs are hearing has been measured. Johns Hopkins had the audiologist was like, she's like, let me see, did you hear this? Are you shitting me? How about this one? Yeah, there it is. Heard it my entire life. So among other things, who and what is Jake? He's lots and lots of things. Multi-dimensional personality. I mean, it would be fair to say like infinitely dimensional, fully functional, coherent, schizophrenic without the pathology on that. It's magnificent and beautiful. Every moment presents itself as something different. So why I can't tell you is by the time I start to say it's different. So it's just whatever this is to you. And that's always been the case anyways. I'm just now making explicit, I am whatever I am to you, but that's not my fault. That's on you. This message is going to go out to those who are nearest and dearest, and others who are close here, even if they needed to kind of step back a little bit. And a lot of this, I direct this to my dear sons, because this has been a lot for them to try to figure out, as they're witnessing in their father and others throwing distortions. You've not given Sam and Jack an opportunity to see their father through their own lens. Carrie never did that. She was always yapping at them in the background about shit that I had done to her or was doing to her. Always. Boys, you remember I did not do that. I always preached, even as I was, times when I was upset with her, I was always preaching compassion for your mother, because I knew her story, in spite of all that she was doing to you and had done to me and continued to try to do to me. So one of the fun things that Jake likes to claim, he says he's the GOAT, greatest of all time. GOAT of what, Jake? He says he is the greatest one-handed ambidextrous guitar accompanist of all time. Named Jake. Just Jake. I was like, yeah, we put enough qualifiers on that, Jake. I think you got a good shot at that. Let's call the Guinness group. But yeah, seriously, one-handed ambidextrous. Because Jake plays with one hand. Well, Jake plays with both hands, but the other hand doesn't do what other musicians expect it to do. They keep saying, what are you doing? You're not using the other hand. Of course I'm using the other hand. It's obvious. The other hand holds the cigarette. It does other shit too, but do not sleep on the importance of the cigarette. Andrew Kilgore pointed this out to me, that we have neurons everywhere, and every one of them has a nicotine receptor. And neurons in this thing called the central nervous system. That sounds central. Central sounds important. Nicotine receptors in the thing, that's really important. So I don't know, I thought, a lot of you say, well, no, tobacco, cancer. I go, you're scared of cancer, enjoy your kill soup, drive safely. So fuck that. No, I'm going to investigate this myself. I'm not worried about the cancer. I'm not worried about the cancer, Kate. That's for you. You can worry about that. I don't. And it's not my job to care for you when you get sick. I was caring for me. You had everyone around you, and you still wanted me, so you could take another piece of me. I'm not here for you. Let go of your fucking grudge and resentment. I made amends. What the fuck do you want me to do now? I've said I'm DNR. That means I don't know. Okay, that means you don't have to insert and say, before he's dead even, we're going to say this is what he wants, despite the fact I'm his healthcare proxy. He has given me explicit instructions. That is not what I want. I do not want their medical intervention. I told you that. And I told you further about Sharon, should anything ever happen to me, regardless of the status of our relationship, as you see it, if she wants access to me as though she were my legally, my wife, then she should have it, whatever she wants. She just doesn't get to say what happens to me, but she can be there. Does that sound like somebody that was going to hurt her? Do you think it would have been a good idea when she called you in her fucking tizzy, say, Sharon, calm down, my brother's not going to hurt you? He stated this. No, you didn't say that. The fuck? What the fuck? Who do you think you are, Catherine Bennett and Gordon? That's not Christian, brother. I don't care if you play a fucking guitar in the church every day of the week. You're going to have to address this one separately. So, I grew up, I was raised, I would tell you I'm right-handed. But apparently I have a lot of dexterity in my left. And in fact, I was a natural lefty. That made Mom uncomfortable. She saw a propensity and she thought I was going to be special. And that scared her. She screamed at me, "You're not special." So I was like, I don't know if I was even able to talk at that point, you know. Maybe my first words was, "I'm not special." Sharon screamed that at me too once. "You're not special," she said to me. I was shocked. Not that she thought that I wasn't special. I knew I was special. I know I am special. But I could hear someone screaming at her, "You're not special," and it broke my heart. So my God, you're special as fuck. I even texted that to her. I told her I was special as fuck. That got me thrown in jail. Don't declare yourself special. They'll think you're crazy. You need to be normal in the fat part of the curve. We pathologize everyone to get to the fat part of the curve, average, and then we want you to exceed expectations, right? You don't get a good grade. Dad did not celebrate me when I brought home a C. It's like an A and B student, I brought home like at a C in history. I had this asshole of a history teacher in 7th and 8th grade, total fucking asshole, belligerent, Mr. Kudo. Hated his fucking class. So no, I didn't give my best. I got a C, fat part of the curve. I got grounded. I got fucking grounded. Grounded. You know, fuck you, Dad. Fuck you. Jesus. Yeah, academics was everything. Made it real tough on my brother, Alan, who's not academically inclined. He's the most brilliant. The rest of you three, Alan's way fucking smarter than you are. Wait till you see. Wait till you realize it when your eyes open. He gets this shit. He does, because his heart is open. Unlike yours, his heart is open to his brother, this guy who grew up with him. See, you're claiming that you have some special status or understanding of me by virtue of this thing, you're my sister or brother. And when you really unwind that and see, what does that mean? It means that we grew up in the same household, at the home, as I like to call it, and raised by these two bigger people that called themselves our mother and father. And you knew me, Kate, you knew me from my ages 0 to 12. You were 6 to 18, right? And we can keep doing this, Liz. You were at home when I was first arrived till I was 11. Paul, you knew me till I'd grown Alan, you knew me till I'd grown to the age of 7 or 8, and then you were off to college. And Paul, who was 7. That's half a century ago. And since then, we spend time around holidays, and but you don't know me. We don't have real conversations, and you don't see me. I'm the baby. I'm whatever stories you're telling yourself, and you tell stories. We minimize what happened in that home as children. We act as though that wasn't a big deal, that we're threatened to be sent to the orphanage by a mother whose father, whose grandmother, a woman whose father's mother sent him to an orphanage because he was apparently, they said he was too much. We gotta look at those stories more closely, because they were scooping up indigenous people in Canada at the same time. I wonder, my grandfather, who was such a sovereign being and identified with the local Native American culture so strongly. Look at the way Papa B lived. Sovereign as fuck. Grandpa Bennett too. Was he a business operator? Fuck no. Dad told you that. He's a terrible businessman, but he cared about his people. He worked to live. Grandpa Bennett was a deeply spiritual man. He spent time on his knee. You know, y'all should have told me when he died too. You never fucking told me Grandpa died. You never told me. I had to figure that shit out for myself. Seriously. I was 4 or 5, but you never told me that he died. I was there. I had to figure it out myself. I fucking had nightmares about that. You know, I was with Nicole, I was still having nightmares about seeing him in the coffin. See, alive or dead, the eyes opened, looked at me, felt like he was still there. Don't tell me this didn't happen, I was there. So yeah, it's a wild story. I've seen a lot, I've been through a lot, I've been back through it a lot. And I remember everything. I remember the umbilical cord getting cut, the shock of that, the birth trauma. birth. I was there, all the way back. You pick the event horizon, we'll go back there together. So I know who I am, and I know how the fuck I got here. Wow. Does that bring a sense of, and then you add that gift to these amazing other gifts that watch it, the ultimate gift. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it looks like on tape. I watched it. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I didn't recognize it, but it's just so, for me, it's so beautiful to be able to relate to another human like this. Totally open. Not worrying, could I possibly offend her? I can't. She can't possibly offend me. It's not that we're so deeply in love, everything's okay. No, we just get it. We just get it. We're not in love, but we are, right? Because we each exist in love. It's not about the other, anything else. I'm in love with my dog. I'm in love with my car, Freddie Mercury says. I'm in love. You're in love. Join me here. We'll be in love together. We'll be in love with each other. In love with each other. Then it gets magical. But first you have to know what love is and understand that you are that and are in that, etc. It's worth it. It's worth a look. In my lived experience. You may not have this experience, and I'm not telling you that what I experience is what you experience, but you cannot tell me that what I experience is not what I experience. I'm the GOAT at that. Oh. So yeah, so the left side, I ignored the left side of my body, the entire left side of my body, I ignored it. It just followed along. It was useless. Left, yeah. Whenever someone said, that's wrong, John, that's wrong, that's arrogant, don't say that, that's not okay, that will get your mouth washed out with soap and you'll be gagging and choking and struggling to get a breath and thrust back to that horrific time as a baby when you were struggling to live. All of that should just get shoved over to the left side. And it just, and then everything, like, I could not move. Literally, by the time I left my career 5 years ago, left a 35-year career, I just made the decision like that, gone. I couldn't move. I was in such pain, physically, emotionally, psychologically. I had nowhere left to move. And I literally could not move. I couldn't put on a suit coat. Everything was just breaking down. Horrific sciatica, unexplainable. Right knee that locked up, left foot I couldn't feel due to both of them the result of just, bad Western medicine. Starting injuries, lifetime of injuries, not properly attended to. Not by me, but I was a child playing sports and things, and varsity football and quarterback and stuff, and breaking bones, separating joints and stuff. I was never in the trainer's room, and Mom wasn't bringing me to the orthopedist unless she absolutely had to. Like, his hand is like this. Well, we better have that checked out. But yeah, and the hand was broken, and Dad threw away the prescription for the pain reliever. Said I didn't need that. I didn't need that, because he has his own fucking issues with addiction, so he doesn't want his son to have that because he's afraid his son might have some issues. So his son deals with the pain of a broken hand that he suffered in a football game because the coach called the wrong fucking play. That's exactly what happened. Ran the play that was called. I knew I saw the whole thing, and it wasn't like I wasn't smart enough. That was all that was left on the table. Run the fucking play as he called it. Even though I'm supposed to option the ball to a certain guy, he's put him in motion. Anyway, right? But these things, and then they don't get properly addressed. Instead we, Nana B rubbed some horse liniment on that dislocated shoulder and throw him back in the game. I am in a state of flow. I have a cannabis cigarette here to support my system if that might be necessary. I generally don't, my system doesn't generally call for cannabis till well later in the afternoon. And I currently use anywhere from 3/4 grams to 1.5 grams a day. For those of you who are unfamiliar, that's a little bit more than this. It's like nothing. And for those of you who are taking antidepressants or anything like that, quiet down, right? Hell of a lot more healthy, predictable, and no withdrawal. I mean, it's a perfect medicine for me. And I use it as prescribed by a PhD psychologist, an MD psychiatrist, and a specialist in using cannabis for treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder, another ND, 3 of them. In lieu of, because we're looking for something, they prescribed me an antidepressant. Nicole really wanted me to take an antidepressant. She thought that would fix her. If I took that pill, she would feel better. It doesn't work that way, Nikki. So I tried the antidepressant for a couple of weeks and my system felt, I said, no. The pills have never helped. Drugged my heart for, 2 decades for some arrhythmia they said I had. Say I have. Atrial fibrillation had drugged my heart. Nope. It's just chasing symptoms. The first drug was to address what they thought the problem was. The second drug was to control what the first drug caused. They never get that shit right. No, I just went off that shit. Finally, after 20 years, I said, fuck this. I'm going to go off it and I'm going to build a relationship with my heart. And I'm going to follow that and I'm going to listen to her. I had gotten that a month after leaving my corporate career. And, I did not have enough money. I thought I had enough money for 2.5 or 3 years. We're at 5 years now. 5 years in April. And, we're running out. We are running out. We've run out, basically. We've run out. Not like, oh, now you have to tap into retirement. No, we've run out. Busk and ask. Ask for, you really want to help? You want support? Right? I'm telling you what kind of support I need. We're depending on the world to support what we are doing here. This is not for Jake. This is, as much, if not more than anything, as I see it now. This is a container to hold it's to hold our story. And I'm going to plant the seed with mine, and you'll see how mine connects to your story. It's one big story. But really what drives me now is creating a container in which you all might not just get to know me, but get to know Mercy as she truly is, and you're going to be blown away because this woman just channels the healing power of pure Holy Spirit. It's undeniable. That's my experience. She put me back together, or gave me the tools and the love that allowed me to do that. And when you understand what happened to me, there'll be no question that just listening in to her, just hearing her voice, experiencing her healing somebody else, she's not healing anybody but you all the time. So I would like to, I see this as a way to get those with beautiful gifts who are not looking for ways of getting you to buy them, right? That's where everyone with a gift fucks up, figuring out, how do I sell this? You should have seen how Sharon perseverated over how does she get someone to pay $10,000 for 4 days. Twisted. They all do. You go to study with some of these coaches, and most of, as much as half of the thing is, how do I package this? The best things in life are free. And when you are blessed or graced with something extraordinary, it comes along with something. It's a deal that's made. This gets put in service of the whole. You don't just get to whip it out and play with it, though you do, but it reveals itself as it's as needed in the present moment. So having never been able to play a guitar, but having started getting into playing the shamanic drum and witnessing how my hands are sovereign. If I turn my mind off, they just go and do what they want to do. No thinking, pure flow. Laid my fingers on the guitar, and it didn't matter if it was the left hand or the right hand. It just starts playing these rhythms, and it just going. Sometimes you'll see it moves outrageously fast, so fucking fast that it becomes still. And you'll say, well, that hand's not moving. Yeah, come and fucking touch it. Bzzz. It's like unbelievable. Bzzz. Like, and I touch the string, the guitar is not plugged in. It's like zing. Wild. I can't explain it. I can explain it. And it's still a mystery. And I have no attachment to it, meaning I get great pleasure in witnessing it. And it draws me into a state of awe and wonder every time. Not awe and wonder of me, aren't I special though I am? Each one of us is. Because this is the gift that flows through me, and it's different than that which flows through anybody else. And when it all comes together and there is music playing in the room, whatever it is, whether I remember hearing that song before, whether it's familiar to me or it's something I've never heard of, this being knows it, taps into the same stream. And whatever you think of what comes out and how it marries up with what is already there, that's the art. It's meant to move you. It's meant to make you say, I like it, I don't like it, and then get curious about what is it. It's not that whether you like it or not. If it's beautiful to you, that's not what makes it art. It's all art, first of all. It's all expression. Each one of us is an artist. That's why this starving artist problem is going to reveal itself and correct itself, because we're going to say we're going to see that each one of us is a starving artist, and we're going to look around and say, hey, wait a minute, we've been trapped in this thing called scarcity economics, and it's a scarcity that we created when we introduced interest-bearing accounts, usury. I give each of 10 of you $1 and say at the end of the year you have to give me $1.10. But there's only $10 in circulation. There's scarcity. One of you saying, fuck. At the end of the year I'm fucked. I'll be like Jake, out of money, out of currency. If I don't have currency, I don't have food, shelter, and clothing, water. It's a system, that's the system of chattel slavery. It is. It meets all of the definitional requirements of chattel slavery. Every single one of it. You just have to see it through the lens and get past your resistance of how could that possibly be. It's not the same thing. It's the exact same thing. And you just don't understand that you are in chains and you're wondering what's so uncomfortable. And we're trapped in a system of scarcity economics on a planet of untold bounty. And we're worried that the planet's going to something's going to happen to the planet, and we are going to be the ones to save it or prevent it. The planet is fine. It's fucking fine. It's you you're worried about, right? And that's fine too. The planet has destroyed itself and refashioned itself many, many times. We know this, and it's in our stories. Oh, the flood, that can't be real. Yeah, shit happened, right? We know shit happened. And yet we say, no, that can't be real. That's too fantastic. They're trying to explain it happened, and people say, what the fuck just happened? And so they describe this cataclysmic event that you can't imagine. You weren't there. I know you can't fight, but you could imagine it if you would allow yourself to. So we're worried about the planet. The planet it looks just like us, doesn't it? You're fucking erupting. I feel it erupting. I feel this kundalini erupting in me. Yeah, for many years. So it was a month after I left my career, and I was out walking along the beach as I did all the time. Every morning at least once, every day at least once, and I'm out in the forest and I'm out walking along the beach, and as always I'm deep in contemplation. I'm looking down at the ground looking for sea glass, always looking for sea glass, pieces of my shattered soul and yours. And I hear a conversation in my head, and I recognize a voice. It's that fucker that just judges me all the time, made me uncomfortable. And I was talking to people as a child that I sounded stupid and whatever. So I know that voice, but the voice was clear. But what was also clear was, for once, he was not fucking hassling me. I don't know who he was talking to, but he was hot. He was hot, and he was challenging. He says, "Well, what should we do then?" Listen up. And so I just tuned. I heard that, and it stunned me, and I just kind of listened. What's coming up? And this, best I can describe, is a soft, gentle voice. Say, put love in your heart and do what you want to do. And that sounded profound. It sounded right. It resonated. It sounded simple. You know, it was telling me, get in touch with your heart. Go there. My meditation teacher been telling me this, go to the heart. There's a thing called the Heart Sutra, like the heart teaching, the teaching of the heart. Yeah, so I was in conflict with my heart because I had this arrhythmia, and we weren't seeing eye to eye. And so I started to tune in. Just started, I knew what she felt like. She did this funny dance every now and then. She would just lib dub, lib dub, lib dub, lib dub, lib dub, right? And it's and things start getting sometimes make me pass out. She was trying to get my attention. And she was kind of saying, hey, been through a lot. Every now and then the dance I do, it looks a little bit like the Elaine dance. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I remember that little boy skipping around the classroom. All right, might be something here. So I started building that relationship with my heart and listening to her. And getting to know what she liked and what she didn't like. Because I knew that do what you want to do was what she wanted to do. It was like that's where I tapped into what I wanted. I felt that here. And so it just fell into this practice of every moment, tuning in what's for today and trying to let go of the pressure of you have to do this, you have to do this. And people around me saying, you have to figure this out. And me seeing something, no, I don't know, them being called towards something else. Something that's more flowy and free. And I know I've tried everything else. It just has not worked. I'm dying here. I'm fucking dying. I don't care what you saw from the outside. I know I made sure that I did what I could to bring some fun into my life because I was fucking dying. So yeah, I somehow found the capacity and the resources to inspire corporate teams. I gave you everything I had. It wasn't for me. I was dying, and I saw the job you were in. I knew that you had to be dying. I always thought, how can I make this a little better for all of us? That's all I was ever trying to do, whatever the context was. Family, spiritual community, business, intimate partnership. How do we make it better for the whole thing? So that's what I've been doing. Tapping in. That's why I went to the jungle all those times. That's why anything you ever saw me do, it's because that's what she said to do next. I left my job because I was getting deeper and deeper into my spiritual practices, and I was feeling more and more compelled to continue that. And I was waking up at, I was working from home, I was waking up at 4 in the morning. I didn't have to really get rolling in my job till 9:30. So I had a good 5 hours in the morning to go deep into my practices and my studies, and that was definitely becoming far more important than what I was doing, working for these assholes, John Kiani and John Judge, fucking the worst leadership I experienced in my entire life. It was perfect. It was my final corporate gig, and I experienced, I had to rub my nose right in it. That's the weakling king, John Judge, and that's the tyrant king, John Chiani. And watch how they're fucking embroiled in like the largest racketeering case in Ohio ever, which the Speaker of the House goes to prison for racketeering. And you know, my chief executive officer, and the executive chairman of my company are like in the middle of it, and you fucking did shit. Jesus, yeah. It's these guys. It was all about the money. It's all about fucking how do I, yeah. It's terrible. You guys sucked. You're terrible. Just terrible. And I'd seen some bad shit. Like, listen to some of these other things. Yeah, I mean, listen to some of this shit. Like, I would say, tell all what's going on in corporate America, these sales meetings and shit like that. It's fascinating. It's just through my lens, is what I experienced 35 years in the corporate jungle. Wow. I saw it all. I was at some high, big companies. Exxon Corporation, Fortune 75 company. When the CEO of that entire organization brought his 350 or so top leaders in an organization of some 75,000 people, I was in that room. Right? Not bragging, I'm just telling you where I viewed it from. So when he says, how does he know? Because I was there. And they thought I didn't see what they were doing. I fucking saw you. I figured I knew what you're doing. And everyone was just following your suit, and you were saying that's bad. It's okay for me, but not you guys. So yeah, it's a tell-all through these eyes, because I just got to share what I've seen. I don't care. It's just witnessing. Come and witness or not. But this is my process of healing, because as I express it, I hear it. I'm speaking for me, and then it's not just the story I see in the unwinding in my head. Now I know spirit flows through me. If it flows through me, it flows to me. And so I am listening, right? I am not thinking about what to say. I'm not engaged in that. I am engaged in being here with what is coming through and considering all that spirit is sharing with us. If you were to watch one of these quadcasts and find a section and say, Jake, here's this section and this is what you said, and what does that mean? I say, I don't know. What do you think it means? It meant whatever it meant when it came through. And it is just as fresh and live today. It says, you go there, it says JakeLive. It's all live. This was all recorded live. I am living. This is forevermore live and timely. The catalog is vast and it's just growing. Just dive in. There's no beginning, And yet it is, every single one is a fresh beginning. And there's certainly no end. And it's not linear, and so it's not going to be told linear. And it's not to be figured out, it's to be experienced. But you're going to figure some shit out. The best thing for you to do while witnessing and experiencing a quadcast is to dissociate. Do not listen to my words. Do not try to understand my words. You can't. You might. If you understand them, fine. Go with that. Understand and experience at the same time. Some of you will be able to do that, and you will grow. That capacity will grow. Until then, if you find yourself in a state of misunderstanding, then don't try. Fall into the music. It's all music. Allow yourself to drift off and get curious about what you start to see. Where does your mind go? If you can't stop your mind, what is it on? Why? Why that story? Why that reaction? Ask yourself, why am I not enjoying this? If you are enjoying it, ask yourself that. That's the same distortion. You're either rejecting it or grabbing onto it. It's pointing you to the same place. And it's pointing you to you. Understand where your preferences came, because they're random. That is essence. Every preference you have, even pleasure versus pain, is random. Some people get off on shit you find hurtful. ouch, like, don't put that there. Some people love that, right? Body's a playground. I ride all the rides. Transparent. You know, guys, you want to loosen up. You gotta play with it. I'm not talking the winky. You gotta explore that anal play. That's that prostate that you've been ignoring that's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and make you have to pee. It's trying to get your attention. I once asked my urologist, he told me I was 40 something. He said, you've got the prostate of a 62-year-old. I now have the prostate of a 60-year-old. I know. Did not have the prostate of a 62-year-old. Do not define me. That was his curve, right? This big, fits here. And that was something that ran in the family. And I was not looking forward to some of the procedures that led to, like one, they call it a TERP. It's basically the roto-rootering. Yeah, ow. No, thank you. So I was like, I'm going to figure this shit out because I'm not going there and I don't want to keep having to take medicine. And I can't get up every night 6 times to go pee. And so I asked my urologist, Mark Ventura with Hawthorne Medical, Mark, why does the prostate enlarge? Like, you hear all of this. And he says, oh, it's just what happens. I laughed at him. I said, Mark, that sounds silly. That sounds completely silly. It sounds like you haven't even considered that. You're a fucking urologist. Like, you're not curious? Why does that happen? So I investigated. I looked very deeply. I built a relationship with my heart. I built a relationship with my prostate. Right? We got to know each other. And I learned something. It's due to repressed sexuality. Prostate's the chrysalis G-spot. It's the same thing. We have the same equipment, men and women. Men's are out, exposed, women's are tucked in. It's the same fucking stuff. Ooh, the clitoris. Yeah, we have that too. For now, it's the underside of the penis. You've never seen it. You don't go there. It's scary. It's scary because you remember dads. That's the sad truth. You remember dads. Right? However you saw it. Some saw it within a context that was far too vibrant. Let's just put it that way. I was there. More happened on the dry cleaning trips than Walt's roast beef. Yeah. That may just be enough for an intro. Share this shit. I'm just going live now, and I'm gonna let this shit trickle out. But it's live, and it's available. And this is for all of us. Give this a shot. This is a place for us to gather and sit closer to the fire. And one can participate in this and be as near or far from my fire as you wish to. If you're not willing to face yourself and or me, but you're intrigued, come on, there's a place for you. It's for you. You don't just be here off in the wings. That's probably the best place for you now, right? Because if you can't get down with this, you're part of the community, but way over there. Until you're ready and capable of allowing this in its full intensity, feel the full expression of my love in all of its forms. Not just the way Sid Banks did it, not just the way Dickens does it, not just the way John Churchill or Hamilton do it, not just the way Gopi Krishna did it, Babaji, Yogananda. Beautiful, beautiful people with beautiful expressions of them. It's not always a warm blanket. Christ flipped tables in the temple because of usury, right? Because they were trying to figure out, let's get in the middle. It's the middleman. It's the first middleman. That's where the artist started to start, and the middleman started stealing all the money, stealing the gift. So I'm here to give it away for free. Why am I doing this? I made a deal. I made a deal with God. I'd carried the ball as far as I could. I'd thrown as many pitches as I thought I could. And I don't care what the fuck you say, I played a damn good game. And I played it right, and I'm proud of the way that I played it. I was thrown into an ugly, ugly game. All of it. And I'll stand by every single fucking step I took. But I could not finish it. God damn it, the one fucking yard line. You know, it's like pitching felt like pitching a perfect game. It really did. It really did. I saw it. I saw the perfection. I see yours. But I was done. And gratefully so. Proudly so. There was no self-doubt about could you have gotten it further. No, I just knew it was everything. Nothing was left. Except for that tiny piece of me that you all wanted to take, or they wanted to take. And I did. I asked for mercy. Lord, please have mercy on me. I was beyond suicide as solace. I'd seen beyond that. This was a pain that endured. That it didn't matter. That which exists forever, which is that essence, that is you, survives the death of this form. And if it is in conflict, if it is in pain it remains, even as it sees more glorious things. Christ consciousness is in conflict. And we see its manifestation all around us. There is peace consciousness that is beyond Christ consciousness. Jesus was still hiding after the resurrection. He's still hiding from most of you all. Oh, he's not. You just got your eyes closed. And you're looking in the wrong place. You're looking out there. My God, why have you forsaken me? I did not for an instant believe that energy signature had forsaken me, because I felt it there. That's why I asked him for mercy. It's undeniable. It was just me. This entire cosmos. Just me. And then suddenly there's this presence. It's the G-Man. Dog is my witness. God am I. That happened. There were there were 2 or 3 instances there where I asked for his mercy. I will go into each one of those beautiful stories. But I wasn't asking for my friend mercy. I was just mercy. In every sense, like, what does mercy mean? Do you really understand what that means? And do you know the significance of when someone is named that, or whatever they're named, right? Our parents don't give us our names. We choose our names, and we tell them, I am John. Whatever that carries, the significance, this being said that I am that, I am John. Mercy came into this world. She said, I am Mercy Rose. So I'd had this wonderful friend who, she was a friend. But she'd said, if you ever need me, I'll come. I'll be there. Right? Just this friend. She's in Michigan. If you ever need me. And when I needed someone, that was the number. Call Mercy. Tell her I need her. Fast. Whatever I need to do. Here's a credit card. Get on a plane. Please come. And she did. Thank you, Mercy. Because if not for that, they would have accomplished it. I don't know what would have happened to me, but I'd be in some padded room somewhere. Absolutely. You guys did it. You did it, but you didn't know I had that secret fucking weapon. And I knew what to ask for. I knew what to do next because I was tapped in, and that's what she said. Ask for his mercy. Let's try that. Ask for mercy. It is quite simply the most powerful force in the universe. Mercy is fire and fear itself. You don't recognize it. It's what you want. So you learn a lot about this beautiful relationship and start seeing what's possible in intimate relating and what does intimacy really mean. We want to show you that because I think if you start to tune into that and get a taste of that experience, you know, it's going to be right out of When Harry Met Sally. When Harry Met Sally. When Harry Met Salary. There's that one too. You know, I'll have what he's having. Believe me, you want this. I want you to experience a taste of any part of this. The obvious multidimensionality. The clear truth in the metaphysics as directly experienced. I'm not talking about having come up with a theory of everything. I'm talking about I am experiencing a lived experience of everything all at once, and it makes complete sense. Yeah, I see the order in all of it. It's not rigidly patterned according to Euclidean geometries with your rectangles, octagons, squares, circles, and right, because those things don't exist in nature, right? Those things were imagined. That's life has, you know, nature has life flowing through it, so it gets indeterminate, non-linear, and we model it with these other things. So if it's not these imaginary things or a version of those, you miss it altogether and say that's not order, that's disorder. Disorder is still pattern repeating, you just don't recognize it. So I see all the repeating patterns, you say that's disordered, it's chaotic. It is. That's not bad. It does not mean you can't exist within that in a state of complete comfort and knowing that, yeah, no, this is just as it's supposed to be. I get that. I see all the patterns. That is me. The hat, the magic hat, Zeke Star. I mean, I'm not making a statement with this hat, but the hat is making a fucking statement. He's making a statement. Man, it's like the sorting hat. This thing's chirping in my ear all the time. It just showed up in the mail, I swear to God. It just showed up in the mail. And they sent me a company, I ordered a bullwhip, and they sent me the hat. They sent me somebody else's order. And I got shit going on, and you know, just day after day, a week went by, and getting down to UPS and figuring out how to return this hat and dealing with a company just hadn't shown up as what's next, so the hat's just sitting there. And we looking at see the box with the hat, and it was like, what am I going to do with this fucking hat? I'm asking, what am I going to do with this hat? So they're here. I don't know. Maybe try me on. I said, huh. I know, maybe I'll try it on. So I picked the box and did the hat. Sure enough, they'd said, put it on. And I don't know, something magical happened. It just kind of fit. And I said, huh, I like the hat. I like the hat. So it's, you know, it's kind of, think of it as a yarmulke. I mean, there's something about it. There's a, I don't know, there's just a sense of comfort. I'm very exposed here, very vulnerable, right? If you think, wow, look how comfortable Jake is. Jake is not at all what you call comfortable, though I'm really comfortable. But, you know, the sphincter pucker, like, here it is. Everyone has been watching me. Like, the town has been, wait till you see, like, seriously, like there's some serious, there's going to be some serious shit going down because I've had a lot of constitutional and civil rights plainly violated, and I've got shit on videotape and clear records. I'm not agitating for any change, but I'm agitating for those who've been harassing me and causing me undue pain and suffering. Outrageous. It's all detailed in here, and you'll witness it. They got to make it right. They got to make it stop, and there's some restitution in order. I'm at times an absolute fucking mess. Can't go out of my house. Literally cannot go. I am quite literally disabled at this point. I cannot do conventional work. I simply can't, because remember I said I made a deal with God. I asked for His mercy, and He sent her the full thing. And the deal was, it was the Gethsemane moment, not my will, but Thy will. Yes, that is what's in store for you. We're ready for you. That last bit of surrender. Push off, and it's time to ride down the lazy river. Stop paddling against the current. You're feeling it flowing through you now. That was the deal. That I don't get any say. I don't get to plan. I don't get, but it is this co-creation. So it's not like it's out of my hands and I'm just riding along. It's this really beautiful, like you're part and parcel. It is my intention, that which sits deep in my heart, that coordinates everything in my world, and it just happens of its own accord. And that which sits deeply in my heart connects to and resonates with that which is in what, the mystics and we call the most sacred heart. It's that thing that's in the Ark of the Covenant, right? The Grail, right? These are the stories. And so it's, you tap into that feeling, and that's, they talk service to the whole. You find, that's inside of me. I was so surprised. I really was, that this something burns inside of me. That's for everyone else. I'm surprised I didn't think that was me. I thought I was very much about me. And I was very, very focused on what was going on with me. I was in horrific pain. I saw, people suffering in the world around me. And that only made me judge my pain. That how could I dare say I'm suffering so greatly when I see children with these extended bellies. I mean, Sally Struthers crying. Like, I'm not making light of that, but I was making light of this, and this was really fucking heavy. And I judged myself because people were telling me things didn't happen in my life, and we're normalizing horrific traumas. And it was a real mind fuck. And so, in fact, I realize now that what I experienced was beyond. Give me the extended belly. Seriously. Beyond. You can't deny me that. I was there. Horrific. Your jaws will drop. And when you hear Mercy's story, your jaws will drop. And when Sharon finally sees the light and you hear her story, your jaws will fucking drop. This is not her fault. Your jaws will drop. How do I know her story? I was in an intimate relationship with her, and this is how it works. Hers is a reflection of my own, and I know my story. And the closer you are to me, the more closely your story is aligned to mine, the more deeply I resonate with you. That's why, because we share that. And you'll either be drawn to me, the more frightened you are of what I'm saying, the more distressed it makes you feel, the closer we are alike. It's all in what it's all in the, it's all because we are all alike. You all have, I have, if you have it, if you've experienced it, I've got my version of it. I promise you, test me. I don't care what has happened to you. I'll tell you here's what happened to me, right? Same thing. Not like, it's if you do, no, same fucking thing. Because I've seen it and experienced all of it. And that which I didn't get a taste of directly, you gave to me, right? You projected your shit onto me, so I experienced it that way too. And it gave me more challenges, because this being is up for the ultimate challenge. Put the pressure on. That's when I performed at my best. Always. And I did it to myself. Build the pressure. Make it pop. Something magic happens. And that was what I was told by my bosses throughout my career. Always. never had the, usually, often didn't have the balls to provide any constructive feedback. But it was always noted that, I heard it every year, you always come with a perspective that's completely different than everyone else's. And Michael Kagan, thank you. Thank you. I did enjoy working with you and for you, and that was important to me. I know there were things that you just could not get me to do. I'm sorry, I just didn't. I saw through, but yeah, it wasn't going to work, so you weren't going to get me to do it. But I respected that too. You allowed me to, to an extent that you gave me tremendous opportunities in that company. I'm grateful. I really am. And I remember Michael. There was something he had asked me if I would consider a role. I had just joined the company, and suddenly a critical position needed to be filled. There would have been a promotion, actually, a significant promotion into a significant role, but my heart wasn't in it. It's just not what I wanted to do. And in fact, I didn't know if I could really do a good job of it. And I told Michael, presented this opportunity to me. I'd only been working for him a couple of months maybe. And I told him, I said, I'm really not feeling called to that. And yet I understand the significance of that role. Of course, it was all about pricing the product, really technical type thing. And I said, quite honestly, I don't know if I'm well suited. I don't know if I do a very good job at that. And he said to me, well, I think you could do it really well. He said, but I appreciate this. And so I said, look, do your thing, go and talk to some people, and come back to me if it's just like you can't find someone, or you can't find the right person, then let's talk more about it. And he ended up, we found somebody. And as it turned out, he and this other person, we had to really work some shit out. This guy lost his shit on me once, started screaming at me on the telephone. He was in the office, screaming at me at home working. He's in front of my staff, basically, the big opening, he's screaming, using my name. There are people texting me saying, is he talking to you? I was like, yeah. Losing his shit. It's Eric Stallings. Anyway, thank you, Michael. You got a raw deal. They fired him on fucking Christmas Eve. I remember that. He's getting fired. I was kind of upset. My boss had just been fired. Disappointed at how that went down. I remember Sam. I forgot how old you were, Sam. You were very young though, but you were into baseball, and you were like, Dad, have you ever been fired? And I had never been, but I told you, I said, no, I haven't, but I will be someday. I will be someday. I knew it, right? It's just the way it goes. He said, you would. I said, yeah, and he was a baseball fan, even at, he was maybe 8 years old or something. And I said, yeah, like the baseball manager, right? Even especially the ones who've been around a while and done, they don't usually just walk away. They tire up there, whatever it is. And that will happen eventually. It's just the way it works. And in some role, whether the company that I was with or some role at some point, that would happen. I just saw that would happen. And it did. Gratefully so. They should have let me go many years before. I was like, I was mailing it in, but it was still far better than anything they had there. Listen to some of the podcasts about that. Like I would say, I was only giving them 20%, but I was offering the whole thing and they didn't want it, right? So I was actually giving them 4%. They saw the other 96% was junk, the junk DNA. And the 96% of the energy in the universe we can't measure. I wonder if there's a coincidence between those two things. As above, so below, as within, so without. Patterns repeat, David. It scales. It's all the same thing. I think when my sister was hanging out at my house as a contractor, Kate never came to visit me because she was holding resentments, even though I would invite her. If we were having a party here, she would. But she's painting at my house and she's seeing me. I'm in communion 24/7. I'm practicing my spirituality, and it looks different, right? You say, maybe if I had a collar on, you would see it. But yeah, this doesn't look like it. Though, if I was a nun and swinging around and knocking IVs out and shit, you'd say, yeah, that's spirituality, right? Put it on airplane and it's suddenly, kumbaya. So she doesn't know what she's looking at, and she just sees her brother who's talking wild things and he's smoking cigarettes and smoking pot. That's what she sees, and she sees her 14-year-old son dealing pot years and years ago. She's listened to nothing. She doesn't recognize that her brother has spent months in the jungles of the Amazon using these outrageously powerful psychoactive components because she doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to me. She sees what she wants to see. She's shown zero interest. Like her beloved little brother, as she calls him, my 5'3" sister, you know, my little brother, she loved to say that. Who she has told me till I reached, you know, in age over 50, yeah, it was always like this thing, you were such a brat. You're the most wonderful baby thing in the hospital. You came home, you're such a brat. Yeah, I wonder I got fucked up. Didn't help that you were bullying me after that. Yeah, you're a miserable bully to your little brother that you claim to love so much. But I'm willing to bet that being a cancer survivor who wears her survival on her wrist quite literally every year, she's got a new bracelet, right? Yay, yay, safe life. You know, perhaps were you offended that I'm smoking cigarettes and I am not being as careful with my precious life as you are with yours? I'm actually living mine with wild abandon. It's mine to do with. Okay, 219. These just go on and on and on and on and on. The beat don't stop until the break of dawn. I like that one. Jake moves all around, right? Intensity, humor, deep love, challenging you, right? Say that's it's fucking psychotic. No, this is the infinitely vast, multidimensional personality that's just letting go. And this is the art. You have all witnessed me, those who have spent time with me over the course of my life, what happens when I dive into something, right? Each one of you have said it, Liz, Sharon, just with amazement that when my passion ignites, whatever the area of interest is, I go right into it until I figure the whole thing out. And then I go out onto something else. Everything, right? You know it, you've seen it. So why are you so surprised when the topic of interest becomes me? I became an expert on how I operate. I know exactly how all of this operates. I sit in the control center right here. I'm operating it right now. There's no addiction, there's distortion in your relationship with an entity. There is you, there is that. And then there is a field of interaction between you. Paul Bennett, we call it a boundary layer problem in engineering. It's the same thing. It's heat transfer. And that boundary has to be negotiated. And it gets negotiated by recognizing that each of the entities and that shared field that is being negotiated, the three are separate and sovereign, and you allow them to come into harmony through allowance, full allowance for the other to be as it is, because this is how it works. If you allow it to be as it is, it will find its place. But if you clamp down and say, no, I want this piece right here, I want it forever, you're gonna suffer. Or if you say, I want that must stay over there. John, you must stay over there. You are suffering. This is hurting. In the words of our beloved mother, this hurts you a hell of a lot more than it hurts me. She should have checked in with herself at that point. Because if I was doing something that hurt my child, that hurt me more than it hurt my child, I would stop. I would stop. That would be logical, right? She was unfucking hinged. I know I was married to her. That's how it works. Because that's what I went looking for. That's what I told love was. That was what was modeled for me. Go off and find this. And I did over and over and over again. name that tune before you strike the note. And get the vibe. The note's already ringing. Can you still hear it? Because it will never stop. That tone will never stop ringing. I can still hear it. It's still there. It's ringing right here. That spot is ringing. New tone, same tone, still ringing. Follow it. How far can you follow it? Keep following it. Feel where it's ringing and tell me that ring stops. Go out and buy a guitar. People go to Facebook Marketplace, someone's giving one away right now. Go get one. Hold it. Feel it. Strum it. You can't get it wrong. That's your song. That is your song, and the more you let go, the more you will find the beauty in it. I'm going to play a few songs, then we're going to wrap this up, and at some point I'm going to send you all a note and say, if you're curious, take a peek. I hope this one hits home for some of you. I suspect that it will. I love this. I love this beautiful guitar. Her name is Luna.
If I could be alone with you,
Capture all the dreams I've had. This morning would not be so blue. Dreaming would not be so bad. Never thought I'd change my ways. Never tried to see things through. Yes, I did. But I would make it up today if I could be alone with you.
now that I'm on my own
Alone again. Feel the emptiness of time. I always thought you were my friend. Somehow I got left behind. Now there's one-way road again. No room left to turn around. You leave me nowhere else to go. Shadows cast ahead have got me looking for a place to lay my sorrow down. dreams I've had. This morning would not be so blue. It wasn't at all. Dreaming would not be so bad. I never tried to change my ways. I never tried to see things through. Yes, I did. I would make it up today if I could be alone with you. Oh, that was Barbie Fana. For those who don't know, she was married to my sister from 30 years or something like that. And Barb's just such beautiful music, and it's such a gift to be able to play and sing along with her, and her music comes alive in a way that that I didn't have access to before. Now I really feel it, and it feels like playing along with it or adding commentary. Sometimes it plays under it, sometimes it plays through it. Sometimes it's just always different, and it's I don't judge it. That's Betty's expression of her sovereign self, and I just watch and say, go Betty, go. And this is I like playing. Betty likes to play from this. It's a big list of songs that she's been liking. So we'll play one or two of these. She's got a way. She certainly does. She's got a way about her. Don't know what it is. I could not explain my love for Sharon, but now I can. She's got a way. Without a sound, she touches me, and I get turned around. and then Alex says she's gonna regale us with one. Let's wrap this up with a more beautiful song that hearts knows possible. Do 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 do. Microphone turned on, you might not get that backing track to it. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I said, it's alright. The smiles turning to the faces. It seems like since it's been here. Yeah, I celebrated the arrival of the completion of my 60th turn, and really I swear, 1:08 a.m. And I swear when it hit 1:08, I was a runner, high school and college, and running is painful. And I just put it all out there. You run to your puke, literally. And I hated the anticipation of what was to come as I stood on the starting line. And I ran towards that gun lap. And you hear the gun, it's like, I can do one more lap. I can do one more lap. And that was it. You just put it all out there. And then I get to the point, and so I ran a race that was essentially 2.5 laps indoors. And so it was that first lap, it's like, okay, we're running. And that first half lap. And then I kind of hang on for the second half lap. And then the third half lap was in anticipation of the gun that's coming. And so, I had my little trick was, I'd start my kick. I heard that gun way before they did. And so, full straightaway before that gun lap. That was go time. And it was just about break it down so I can get to the finish and just. But it didn't matter. There was one single occasion, actually, I think it was my last meet, I had nothing left. Nothing left. I told my coach, I don't have it, I can't run today. And he said, no, you have to run. Sorry, Connie. I'd given you everything I had. I had co-captained that team, junior and senior year. It was such an honor, first time in my life, to be chosen by my teammates to set an intention for the team and to carry that. And then I was scared to death when they were going to vote after as a sophomore. They said, we'd like you to do this for us next year. Wow, what an honor. Usually your teammates ask you to do that when you're a senior. I got selected, and another senior, Rocco Baviera, a senior, and me. I was going to be a junior. And as great an honor, I immediately felt the pressure. You don't do this right, they got to vote again next year. How's that going to feel? We got someone else to try it. So I took that, took it very seriously. But I wasn't serious about it at all. I loved hanging with the freshmen would come in. We could have so much fun. Wouldn't haze them. No, too much fun. Do it with them. So when I heard that gun, didn't matter. I could do one more lap, and I heard the gun. I heard the gun last night. I heard the gun a long time ago. I started my kick a long time ago. You might have noticed. You might have noticed. And I hear the gun during the spring emergence. This is it. It's a Lenten time, right? Feel the cycles. It's like me giving my female partner a hard time during the full moon, and she's ovulating, or whatever. I mean, you men, do you not feel that? Not because your partner is bitching. Do you not feel your own menstruation? Blame it on her. Keep her in a building far away. One more lap. And then who knows? All I know is one more lap and I go home. Wherever that is, I find that place, one more lap. I told Marissa, I'll stick around as long as you want to. So I have to, wherever she goes, but this thing just, you'll learn more about that. And this is not suicide. This is not, I just know there's something else. And I haven't seen that yet. I just haven't, but I've seen this next piece. (2:28:27). The world will take a pause for peace. Time was created so that we can savor this moment. It's just what I heard. Make of it as your own meaning. What is that? Is it prophecy? I don't know. What does it mean to you? Does that live inside of you? Does it burn? That's something that's like, that feels very real to me, and I'm super curious. So I greeted my birthday, and I had such fear as I was approaching this date, and fear that's gone back to the beginning of time, I think. It's all of this. It's the solitude. It's not the solitude owed to my birthday, but it's just the fucking solitude. And when you have like an event horizon like this is significant for me, 6 decades, right? I see the numbers, 7, I know 8 says octave, but really it's 7, then we go back to 1, right? We bring the first of the next octave in to make the 8. So 7's important. We're in that seventh, I'm in my 7th decade now. I'm in my 61st year, right? 61 has great significance to me. The gene key 61 with a acidic frequency of sanctity. Everything is sacred, including me, including you. It's all manifestations of the one, consciousness, God. It's all mind, it's all one thing. Call it what you want. You get to experience it as you experience it, and so do I. And we can bask in the difference, and we can learn about the whole by allowing for the different perspectives. I'm not proposing something. I'm telling you what I experienced directly. And that cannot be denied. I'm not telling you it is that way for you, but I'm telling you might be curious about how it is for me, because it strikes me that we are the same. And in my world, as I witness you in my world, and knowing that you are no more or less than a manifestation of my mind, that is the only thing that has always been present. I've been there. I was there for every single moment. And mind was there with me every single moment. I have never witnessed a single thing, an experience of any type, absent the presence of mind. Therefore, it is all mind. All I know is I witness it through mind, and so it is mind. Whatever it is, the consistency is mind. So, it's Jake's world, and you are living in it. As a manifestation of my mind, that does not take anything away from you. You are who you are. And it is your world, and I am a manifestation of your mind, of mind. You get to create your world, and we have these two boundaries, and then we let them, through allowance, come together. And then we realize, one mind. It's just one mind. And we are all emanations of that. We are not separate entities within mind. We are mind. We are mind in organic form, presenting as what we call Homo sapiens, which is the apex species with the prefrontal cortex. We are the leading fractal of the emergent consciousness. And it emerges through fractals, just like the fern grows. And so there are tips that are further along than others. You've noticed that. You all think you're further along. Those who are pointing at me and saying that's wrong, you're at the back of the fucking line. I see you because I've already tagged and headed the other way. You're all going this way. I'm like, no, tag, then you head this way. And it's like the fucking Poseidon adventure. And you're saying it's this way. You're crazy because you have to dive under all that fucking water and swim. How are you going to hold your breath? You remember watching that movie, Poseidon Adventure? How many of you didn't sit there and as they're ready to go under to do this thing, didn't go and start freaking out when they get halfway and say, how could I ever find the courage to do that? Would you not be tempted to go the other way where they were all going? They're saying, no, it's easier this way. As they go, right? They weren't being, party, I know it's that way. I went there. I'm trying to tell you. As I've said before, if you want to, you can take the long route. You can go all the way, tag the thing, turn around. We'll catch up, or we'll be waiting for you. Or you can just hop the tracks. Do the hobo thing. Hop the tracks. Hop on a car. Right? Come along with. We'll fill you along as we go, so you can catch up and ride comfortably. Like that scene in the Polar Express. We'll have hot cocoa and everything, some cacao medicina, but we'll sweeten it up good. Put the marshmallows in it. You need some perspective. You have to stop looking in the corporate world at the next quarter, the next 20 years, right? You've got to start, when I say you need greater perspective, and step back, right? That's when you're starting to count years in collections called yugas, right? The Mayans were looking at the about 52,000 years or something. You need that perspective to see what is going on, because all you see is this, and you forget that it's this, and you ignore the obvious that's right there plain in front of your face, that we are always progressing. Always. And sometimes you gotta, and you break through. You go towards the discomfort. That's the GPS. That's where life takes you. That's the signal, and it's really not uncomfortable. It's because you're afraid of it. That's your contraction. When you loosen the contraction, that which you said was uncomfortable becomes exciting, because you know what awaits you. And you've got the skills, and if we're so graced to have someone wonderful in your life, like my dear friend Mercy is to me, and with that, it's like, we got this. We've got this. I recognize this. Mercy, this is like that last time, remember 2 weeks ago when we said we saw that? There it is again. It's gone, right? We struggled with it a week ago before we understood the pattern. Once we saw the pattern, we're like, okay, it's just pattern. It's just that pattern again. We mistake it for something scary. It's just that pattern. And you'll see it faster and faster and faster. And before you know it, as soon as you feel fear, and you dare glance at it, there's these beautiful glistening eyes, and it's just Mercy. It wasn't fear all the time. It was my dear friend Mercy calling to me. She was screaming, Mercy, Mercy, I'm Mercy, I'm Mercy. I thought there was a small part of me screaming for Mercy. And she, fine, figure it out. But it's undeniable. I told her last night, Mercy, that fear you felt when you had that nightmare this afternoon. Don't be afraid of that. That's me. That's just me. Don't be afraid of it. I'm just calling to you. It's always only ever been me. It's always only ever been her. And now as you make friends with that suddenly that feeling, that thing like, ow, becomes, there's Mercy. In every sense of the word. God's mercy, my dear friend Mercy. Mercy the fire, Kali, dark feminine. That's what it is. Check it out. All right. So I was up till I laid down it was a beautiful night. Laid down a lot of live recordings. They're out there. Pick one you can't go wrong. If it's a long one, just pick a spot you want to dive into. Let it play in the background. Let it play when you can't sleep at night. Let me drone you to sleep. It's how it's designed. Really, you cannot get it wrong. It will always provide you exactly what you need. You just have to open into it, and Spirit is always speaking to you. You have to understand her language and what it means and where it fits. That's the fun part. That's the game. Sharon told me that Spirit said that she had to do something alone, but I believe that. Spirit did not tell you to do it that way, Sharon. You misunderstood. Right? No. Right? And yes, because again, this is exactly what I asked for. I wanted the pressure. I wanted this gift to emerge, and this dear woman did that for me. See, on another level, another plane, where I am in communion with all, including my dearest Sharon, this was a deal we made, that we all made. We made this deal to do this. So, you know, all is good. It is all filled with love. And yet this was part of the deal that we made, that I was going to be cast into this outrageously challenging, uncomfortable experience, and that was going to create pressure within me to manifest something that I really wanted to manifest in this go round. I want to trip the life fantastic. We did. That's who I am. And you all said, yeah, we're going to do that together. We will do that to you, for you. And so now realize, right, the same comes around then to you, because this is for all of us. So there's this karma thing. That's how it works, right? Like, it's not just. So this is the part that you said, yeah, we'll do that part too. Because you said, we've got this. So show me. Show me you've got this. Become the hero. Become one of, you will all be a hero and a heroine in my story. Ultimately, it gets there. Each one of you reveals yourself to be a hero or a heroine. Yeah, hero and a heroine, or a heroine. And it's just a matter of when. When do you want to reveal to the world that which you are, so that we can tell a really fucking beautiful story, right? Imagine all of this horror, and then we all come together with this beautiful entity, not ignoring it, but yeah, that's what I hold in my heart. Now maybe you know what Jake is all about, and this Jake is the flower, and John is the seed, and it's buried really deep. So first, don't worry about, do I know John or dad or brother or any of that? You don't. It's okay. It's okay. But here's your chance if you want to. If you want to get to know Jake, start getting a feeling for what that, when you see Jake, there's always a common essence there to Jake. In all of his myriad presentations, there is one consistent element that flavors it all, right? That's John. That's that ego that one says it goes away, Dick, and the ego doesn't go away. That's all that remains. That's you. That's your personality. It's not a bad thing. It's the beautiful thing. We're all the same with the exception of that. That's our uniqueness. And so this big magnificent whole that is the all gets to express itself in 8.1 billion different human dimensions, essness, and countless that have come before us. And the rocks and stones and birds are all unique expressions of the same thing. Look at it. It's telling you, and you're rejecting part of it. You say, my expression doesn't count, and that's not true. It's not valid. It's not objectively right. There is no objectively right. It is all subjective. Theory of relativity is very simple. Everything is relative, period. What are the implications of that? Don't get into the quantum physics. E equals MC fuck. You're going to lose yourself. Now you're going to be as lost as Albert was. He never embodied his theory. He admitted he did not understand it. Didn't fully understand it, let alone understand the practical implications. If he had simply said it's all relative, dimensionally relative, different perspective, that's it. That is it. The rest is just reaffirming it and saying, yeah, the models still work. Of course the fucking models work. You got to the moon. You split the atom. You were done. You did it. Now go beyond the physical. Slingshot, we got to the moon. Slingshot, we got to Mars. Slingshot, here we are at Saturn. Slingshot. I mean, fucking David used the slingshot. We know that works. Knock down the big giant. Yay, David. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. I don't play chords. I don't get it. I don't fret. It's fretless. Jake doesn't fret any of it, the big stuff or the small stuff, or the guitar neck. I was having people, my friend Zane said, he wanted to teach me how to, It's like saying that's counter to you don't understand what's going on here. This is perfect flow. There's no thinking. This requires thinking. If this was how this being wanted to do it, it would be doing that. And as soon as you say, now here, hold it like this way. And I'm watching all of these, like, other than like the best guitarists, fretting them. And their hands are cramping and shit like that. I'm like, mine is the exact opposite. It's nothing cramps. It's pure flow. It's just different. Just taking that thing and playing it as it says to play with me. But yeah, I see all this. It doesn't look like fun. It doesn't look comfortable. And it's this like studied and let me perfect it and let me show it to you like I've been practicing this. And there's nothing live in that. It's beautiful. You're doing it live. And some, you know, the best Trevor Hall, yeah, it's wow. But you know, don't you get tired? You know, it's. So this is just different. It's free form flow, and it's not performance. I'm not performing for you. If I'm performing for anyone, it's for me. I'm simply, I made a deal. Allow yourself to be seen. That was part of the deal. Well, follow this, not my will, thy will. Follow this. Come with this. It's really not a follow. To come with this. Significant difference. My maestro, his teacher said, follow me, do as I do. My teachers, the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl, they call the Aztec Christ, keeper of time, master of the time wheel. These are the mythologies, and I connect with that spirit, and it said, come with me. Ven conmigo a la música de la vida. That's what it told me. Come with me into the music of life. I found the music of the spheres there, the music of Orpheus. Everywhere. Strings. Yeah, it was. I knew this was coming too. I'd seen it. I'd seen it. That what was it for mine to simply be a beacon of love, just shine my light. You were all saying no, it was too bright. You said no. Well, if it's too bright, put the shades on or to go somewhere else. I'm sorry if you don't think that you burn as brightly as I do. You do, but you won't own it. You don't own it. It's just part of it. And there's nothing, you'll get there. I'm telling you what is unfolding. Nothing needs to change except like this shit has to be fixed, right? But nothing needs to be changed, and it is all changing already. You can see it. You just don't understand because you're looking at the details too much. And so you're caught in the fall when we're going down the ramp so that we can go up. Remember Evel Knievel? Down the ramp so we can go over the Grand Canyon. Actually, no, he just shot off, didn't he? That was disappointing. I thought he was doing it in like a motorcycle, but it was like this rocket thing. But it was still pretty cool. I think that's when Evel jumped the shark, right? When he tried to jump the Grand Canyon. No one stopped Evel Knievel from breaking all those bones. They send him. His family didn't say, "Oh no." One grabbed the guy off the face of El Capitan when he scaled it, like solo, right? Free solo. His team wasn't saying, we're afraid, you're gonna hurt yourself. They were like, go, you fucking got this. I wanted my team saying, go, Jake, you've got this. Instead, you're all wringing your hands and gnashing your teeth. Go get him off that cliff face. How dare he do something so bold and audacious beyond what I think is Liz, I'm fucking so much stronger than you are, obviously. That's what this is. Someone's got to fight the fucking battle. Someone's got to fight my battle. It's going to be me. I'm just Jake. This is Al. Al, that's in my espresso. This is Betty. They named themselves. It was hilarious. Paul Simon, the song was on. You can call me Betty. Betty, when you can call me. I remember whatever. That's what they were saying. I was like, okay, Al and Betty. Yeah, you got to get to know them. It's fascinating. absolutely fascinating. What I mean, just yeah, this is not made up shit. This is how what's called the internal family systems in Dick Schwartz's language. This is how it comes to life within you. I feel a certain cleaving right down the middle. There's a corpus callosum, never mind just in the brain, right down there, left and right. And they were completely separate. And now there's this incredible a negotiation of sovereign boundaries across a full corpus callosum. Yeah. I don't know if you care to hit the subscribe button. This is one of, as it is now, 3, 4, 5 different times during the day when I might come on. This has been extended. This is what has dubbed itself Jake UnDressed, because this is my process. I get up in the morning and start to disintegrate, dissolve, reintegrate, etc. My experience from the evening before. And then around around 7 p.m. or so, 6, 7 p.m., a little later maybe, as the sun's going down, we often feel compelled to jump on, and we call that Jake paint the sky. And then there's some time later as we start shifting into a deeper place, and we feel compelled to be witnessed as after dark. And in every case, it's a different state of consciousness. We visit different areas, and it comes out different. There's somebody who gets super trance-like. I start talking weird. I say weird things, losing threads. It's wild because I'm shifting into different states. I'm allowing you to witness this. And then sometimes I'll pull just musical offerings out, etc. I don't know how the music's going to come out. I failed to turn one of my microphones on to pick up that backing track, but whatever. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm not a sound engineer. We're playing with sound. It's like, no, that doesn't sound like it does in the studio. It's not supposed to. This is real. I think Laurel Canyon, right? Just getting around and sharing the music and letting, letting the sounds of the jungle in. Not getting so fucking anal. Because you don't realize it's all perfection. You're judging yourself. Now I love, you want to get just, I love that Springsteen, Nebraska, right? He wanted the hissy sound. Don't you love the rich vinyl? Kind of getting back to that sound that fills, if it fills the room with its naturalness, I think maybe it'll fill the soul more readily. All right, this is Jake's gonna be signing out here. To you and invite you to witness. I don't know how to do that. I just don't know. And I know I don't need to figure it out, so I'm curious what happens from here, but I am feeling a sense of it's time. It's time to let you know that the doors of my gallery, the doors to my temple, my inner cathedral are open. And available to be witnessed. My light is shining. I am allowing my light to shine, whatever that is. What I've been told is, well, people will see it and they'll come to see what's going on, so that we can all share in the one verse, the universe. JakeLive, quadcasting, spatial media, experiential, sight, sound, thought, and communion. Seeing through the illusion of fear and death. Being an auteur, art as heuristic, as method and tool for learning. A connoisseur of one's own art. Check it out. Looking under the areas of posts. I've got a couple of things, just some spoken word to music, to just some strumming along. Looking at what is quadcasting, what is auteur, Like I said, it's built. We're just waiting to invite you in to see the space. But so if you subscribe to this channel, you'll get a notice now and then saying there is something like Jake's going live, and you're invited then to come and pop in and see what that. It might be 2 a.m. or whatever, but you didn't miss it. It's there for you, and it's live if you choose to experience it. But you'll get those notices, and you'll see that there's stuff being laid down. The story's continuing to grow. I don't know, maybe you'll be in the next production. If you're a character in my life, you're a character in my story, and that character development is up to you. And so we'll all get to see all of us grow together transparently. It's time we start being transparent about this shit, because when we're keeping secrets, no one can figure anything out except for me, because I know all the patterns now. There's no keeping secrets from me. And if you're afraid that the story will not properly take into account your perspective, then let's hear it. Let's have like a real talk about it, especially the things that went down with me. Maybe we can start there and better understand what your perspective is, and maybe you can see if you can understand now where I was coming from and where I was, and how you mistook a psychotic break for a you misunderstood and thought I was having a psychotic break, when in fact I was having a psychospiritual breakthrough, and I was telling you that, and I was pointing to the previous Easter and the previous Easter and the previous Easter, how this happens. You look, it's everywhere. Consider me a crocus. Right, Liz? Every year we've been tracking it. You've been tracking it. It's like, it's outrageous. It's just outrageous. Where'd you go? I know you're right over there. I see your car there every now and then. Can't imagine. I cannot imagine. I would not wish my suffering on anybody, least of all me. But my God, I'm glad I am not in your shoes right now. At least as the solace I had in looking at my suffering was that even on this plane, I had solace and I did not hurt anybody. I get blamed for hurting a lot of people because I somehow cause people to feel a part of themselves they don't like, and they blame me for that. But no, I never hurt one of you. I reminded you of something very old. That was it. That was just being me. And so now you have to address that within yourself. And I don't need you. I don't need you to come to me as part of that. I don't need you for me for anything, any fucking thing. Just be there to allow me, and we can love each other. You may find that at some point crossing my threshold is supportive of your journey. And if that is the case, I will meet you here with full allowance and with an open heart. Text first, do not knock on my fucking door. Look at anything, you guys want to trip, look at any of these things that has something in the no field of the title that says anything about Fairhaven or dogs. Check that out. The animal control officer knowingly impounded overnight one of my service animals. Not an emotional support dog. This is like a combination seizure alert, seeing eye dog. Really, I'll tell you all about it. Providing a life supportive function. If I go into one of my what I call triadic episodes, what I have is essentially, for lack of a better term, Kundalini illness. And when I get thrown into a series of like autonomic kriyas, and the energies get flowing really, really strongly, things get without the support of my service animals, my canine companions,
who, through our bonding, we have now the capacity to share a common field, and they are able to help offload some of this and channel some of this and help me into so that I can remain upright. If that doesn't go smoothly and it progresses, it goes through various stages, ultimately leads in loss in consciousness, and if it keeps going, it's stoppage of heart. And I've experienced all of these things. I don't fucking care if you believe me or not. That is what this is. That is what I deal with. That is my disability. Okay? Yeah, it's real. You can't tell me it isn't. The police officer on Martha's Vineyard who took it, asked somebody, Sharon, my sister, he says that's a service dog. I said, really, it's a service dog? No, and he writes in his fucking police report, that is not a bona fide service animal. Good investigation, detective. When did you get fucking deputy dog? ChatGPT, look up the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's really fucking simple. As soon as I said that's a service dog, it became an official service dog meeting every requirement of the regulation. Period. No special, yes, super special training, but you don't go somewhere to get a certificate. Somebody does not train your dog to bond with you. It's very unique. You gotta figure that shit out yourself. That is a violation of my civil rights. Right? They hospitalized me, said, we need to care for you. I said, well, I need my service animal. Hospitalize an epileptic to see if they can handle it, right? And take away their seizure alert dog. This is what happened. This is what happened repeatedly. It's, that's what this law is there for, because Western science doesn't understand it. It's highly individual. So, there you have it, right? That's got to be worth some coin. It's happened in my town here. It happened in Oak Bluffs, Edgartown, the judicial system, the hospital system, Berkeley, Lakeville, Fairhaven. I mean, how many counties? Sheriff's Department. I mean, all of them. Willfully ignorant. I can say that's one way Jake's gonna maybe be able to make his way in this world. Pay the fuck up. You put me through hell. And it needs to stop. I love you all. This is quite a profound birthday. I've been trying to get to the point that I was up till 6 o'clock. Got myself a good 3-4 hours of sleep. That's all I need. Perfect. And just trying to get rolling real quick here. And unplugged the box as I need to press a button. It didn't come on. So I don't know. Whatever the sound is, the sound is. I'm just Jake. Thanks for joining the quadcast. Jake UnDressed. Jake, Alan, Betty, Cosmic Buskers. And I don't know. I do hope to see you. I do hope to see you all and feel you all. Come play with me. Until next time. Until next time.